There is a specific kind of silence that falls over a planet when every single living thing dies at the exact same second. It is not the silence of sleep, and it is not the silence of peace. It is the silence of a graveyard. In the history of Dragon Ball, we have seen villains destroy cities. We have seen Frieza blow up planet Namek. We have seen Cell threaten the solar system. But there is only one villain who successfully accomplished the complete and total liquidation of the human race. He did not do it with a bomb. He did not do it by blowing up the Earth from space. He did it while standing completely still. He raised one hand, he looked at the sky, and he fired 1 billion beams of energy that hunted down every single man, woman, and child on the planet. This is the story of Super Buu. This is the story of the most efficient genocide in anime history. When we talk about the villains of Dragon Ball Z, we often categorize them by their strength or their transformations. We talk about Perfect Cell or Golden Frieza. But Super Buu represents something far more terrifying than raw power. He represents the evolution of evil from a chaotic force into a precise weapon. To understand why Super Buu is the most dangerous version of the character, we first have to understand what he is not. He is not Majin Buu. The fat version of Buu was like a child with a gun. He killed people because he thought it was funny. He turned people into candy because he was hungry. There was no malice in his heart, only a twisted sense of play. He was dangerous, but he was predictable. If you gave him cake, he might let you live. On the other end of the spectrum, we have Kid Buu. Kid Buu is often called the most dangerous version because he is pure chaos. He is a wild animal. He destroys the earth instantly because he lacks the capacity for thought. But that is exactly why Kid Buu is less frightening from a psychological perspective. A wild animal attacks you because it is instinct. A hurricane destroys your house because that is what wind does. You cannot hate a hurricane and you cannot reason with a wild animal. They are forces of nature, but Super Buu is different. Super Buu is not a child and he is not an animal. Super Buu is a serial killer. He has the intelligence to understand what he is doing and he has the cruelty to enjoy it. The birth of Super Buu is a tragedy in itself. It happens when the evil side of Buu eats the good side. It is a biological takeover. When he transforms, his body changes. He becomes tall. He becomes muscular. His face loses the softness of the fat Buu and gains the sharp, angular features of a predator. His eyes widen. But the most terrifying change is in his voice and his demeanor. He stops laughing. Fat Buu was always giggling. Kid Buu was always screaming. Super Buu is quiet. He speaks in full sentences. He observes his surroundings. When he looks at you, he is not looking at food, he is looking at prey. This shift in personality creates a sense of unease that permeates the entire arc. We are no longer dealing with a magical monster, we are dealing with a sadist. The true horror of Super Buu begins when he arrives at Kami Lookout. This is a sanctuary. For the entire series, the Lookout has been a safe zone. It is the home of God. It is where the heroes go to rest and regroup. Villains do not go to the Lookout, but Super Buu does not care about the rules of the narrative. He flies directly to the one place where the survivors are hiding. This scene is a masterclass in tension. He lands and he simply waits. He knows that the fighter he wants to kill is there. Piccolo tries to bargain with him. Piccolo tries to use logic. He tells Buu that he has to wait for the hourglass to empty. He tells him that Goten and Trunks need time to prepare. In any other arc, the villain would agree. Cell waited 10 days for his games. Frieza waited for Goku to arrive. It is a trope of the genre that the villain allows the heroes time to power up because they want a good fight. But Super Buu challenges this trope. He waits for a moment, but then he snaps. He begins to tap his foot. His eyes twitch. He screams that he does not want to wait. This is the unpredictability that makes him so scary. You cannot reason with him because his patience is non-existent. He is an addict who needs his fix of violence and he needs it now. The tension on the Lookout is palpable. You can feel the fear in Krillin and the others. They are standing next to a nuclear bomb that has a faulty timer. Then comes the moment that defines his character. Piccolo tells him that if he waits, he will get to fight a strong warrior. But Buu is bored. He looks down from the Lookout. He sees the surface of the earth below. He asks a simple question. He asks if he kills everyone down there, will the fight start sooner? Piccolo is horrified. He tries to explain that if he kills everyone, there will be no one left to admire his victory. But Buu does not care about admiration. He cares about efficiency. He walks to the edge of the lookout. He raises his right hand. He does not charge up a massive spirit bomb. He does not scream. He simply creates a ball of pink energy. What happens next is the human extinction attack. This technique is arguably the most impressive feat of ki control in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. When Frieza destroys a planet, he just throws a lot of energy at the core and blows it up. That is easy. That is blunt force. What Super Buu does is surgical. The ball of energy splits into billions of tiny lasers. These are not random blasts, they are homing missiles. Each individual beam of energy locks onto a specific human life signature. We see the beams fly down to Earth. We see them weave through cities. They do not destroy the buildings. They do not destroy the trees. They go through windows. They go through cars. They hunt people down. We see a man reading a newspaper get pierced through the chest. We see couples running in the street get cut down. We see the beams travel to the other side of the world to find people hiding in caves. We see the beams dive underwater to kill people in submarines. There is no escape. If you are alive on planet Earth, Super Buu knows where you are and he can touch you. This is horror on a cosmic scale. In a matter of seconds, the population of Earth goes from 7 billion to 0. The scene is silent. There is no music, just the sound of bodies falling and the wind blowing. When the dust clears, Buu lowers his hand. He looks at Piccolo and says it is done. He missed no one. He did not destroy the planet. He left the stage intact, but he removed the audience. This level of precision implies a terrifying level of sensory perception. To pull this off, Buu had to sense the energy of every single ant and fly and human on the globe simultaneously, and direct a specific amount of energy to kill them without causing collateral damage to the Earth itself. It is the act of a god performed by a devil. The aftermath of this attack is just as haunting. The lookout is usually full of hope, but now it is surrounded by death. The heroes are trapped on a floating island with the creature that just murdered their families. Videl is there, Bulma is there. They know that their parents and friends are dead, but they cannot mourn, they cannot cry. Because if they make a sound, Buu might kill them too. They are hostages in their own home. This creates a claustrophobic atmosphere that is unique to this part of the Buu saga. The entire world is empty. There is nowhere to run. The only thing left is the monster. But the horror of Super Buu is not just physical, it is psychological. He attacks the heroes on a mental level. When he fights Gotenks inside the hyperbolic time chamber, we see his frustration. But when he fights Gohan, we see his cunning. Super Buu realizes that he cannot beat Ultimate Gohan in a fair fight. Gohan is stronger. Gohan is faster. A normal villain would get angry. A normal villain would try to blow up the planet in a suicide move. But Super Buu plans. He retreats. He waits. He orchestrates a scenario where he can absorb Gotenks and Piccolo to gain their power and their intelligence. This absorption is a form of body horror that is often overlooked. When Buu absorbs someone, he does not just kill them. He eats them into his being. They become part of him. When he absorbs Gotenks, he gains the arrogance of a child super warrior. He starts taunting Gohan. He starts using Gotenks moves. Imagine fighting a monster that is wearing the face of your little brother. Imagine fighting a monster that is using your mentor's techniques. He creates ghosts like Gotenks. He uses the special beam cannon like Piccolo. He is using the bodies of Gohan friends to kill him. This is a violation. It is distinct from Cell. Cell had the cells of the fighters, but Buu has their actual consciousness trapped inside him. When he absorbs Gohan, it is the final nail in the coffin. Gohan was the last hope. Gohan was the strongest character in the universe, and Buu took him. He did not beat him, he tricking him and consumed him. The visual of Super Buu changing again wearing Gohan gi is symbolic of his total victory. He has conquered the strongest warrior. He has conquered the smartest tactician in Piccolo. He has conquered the fusion power of the kids. He is the amalgamation of the best the universe has to offer twisted into a form of pure evil. He stands there and tells Goku that he is essentially a perfect being. And he is right. There is a moment inside Buu head when Goku and Vegeta enter his body that reveals the true nature of his existence. They find the pods where the absorbed fighters are kept. They are trapped in a biological web, unconscious but alive. This is a fate worse than death. They are batteries. They are being digested slowly for their energy. The interior of Buu is a nightmare landscape of pink flesh and steam. It reinforces the idea that Buu is not a person, he is a biological weapon. He is a disease that consumes everything it touches. We also have to talk about the Chi-Chi scene. This is one of the most shocking moments in Dragon Ball because it is so sudden. Chi-Chi is the mother of the main character. She is a legacy character. When she confronts Super Buu on the lookout, she slaps him. It is a brave moment, but Buu does not respect bravery. He turns her into an egg and he steps on her. He crushes her. He does not even blink. He does not laugh. He just removes the annoyance. Watching Goku react to this later brings a level of raw emotion that we rarely see. The villain did not just threaten the world, he personally executed the matriarch of the Sun family. The dominance of Super Buu is also established through his fight with Vegito. Yes, Vegito is stronger. Vegito humiliates him, but look at how Buu reacts. He never gives up. He tries to turn Vegito into coffee. He tries to force himself down Vegito's throat to explode him from the inside. He is relentless. Even when he is outclassed, he is looking for a way to violate the opponent's biological integrity. He wants to enter your body. He wants to turn you into food. His methods of fighting are fundamentally invasive. He attacks your dignity as much as your body. Let us return to the human extinction attack because it is the anchor of this character's legacy. Think about the implications of a silent world. Dragon Ball is usually loud, cities are bustling, people are screaming. But after Buu raises his hand, the world is dead. When Goku and Vegeta finally return to Earth, there is no one to greet them. The cities are standing, but they are ghost towns. Cars are parked in the streets with empty clothes inside them. Food is still warm on the tables. It is an apocalypse that happened in the blink of an eye. This imagery is far more effective than a crater. A crater is just destruction. An empty city is a tragedy. It forces the viewer to imagine the billions of lives that were cut short in the middle of their day. Super Buu represents the concept of the apex predator. In the animal kingdom, an apex predator is an animal that has no natural enemies. It sits at the top of the food chain. For the entirety of Dragon Ball, the Saiyans believed they were the apex predators. They were the warrior race. Frieza believed he was the apex predator, but Buu proved them all wrong. Buu eats the apex predators. He turns the strongest warriors in the galaxy into chocolate and candy. He trivializes their power. All the training, all the Super Saiyan transformations, all the screaming and powering up, it means nothing if you can be turned into a cookie and eaten. Super Buu reduces the proud warriors to snacks. It is the ultimate humiliation. This is why Super Buu is the most terrifying form. Kid Buu is dangerous, but he is empty. You feel nothing when you look at him other than the need to put down a rabid dog. But Super Buu has personality. He has an ego. When he is waiting for Gohan to arrive, he reads a magazine and drinks a soda. He is relaxed. He is confident. He knows he is going to win. That confidence is earned. He has successfully wiped out the human race. He has successfully infiltrated the lookout. He has successfully absorbed the heroes. Until Vegito appears, Super Buu has a perfect win record. He executed his plan flawlessly. The legacy of Super Buu is the legacy of the human extinction attack. It is the moment Dragon Ball Z stopped being a martial arts show and became a horror show. It reminded us that for all of Goku's strength, he cannot save everyone. He failed. He was dead in the other world while his family and friends were hunted down by laser beams. It showed us the limits of heroism. You cannot punch a laser that is killing someone on the other side of the planet. You cannot fight an enemy that attacks everyone at once. Super Buu broke the rules of engagement. He did not want a tournament. He did not want a duel. He wanted silence, and for a brief terrifying moment he got it. In conclusion, Super Buu stands as the pinnacle of villain competence. He is the only villain who delivered on his threat of total extinction. He combined the magical unpredictability of the Jin with the tactical intelligence of the Z fighters. He was a mirror that reflected the heroes' greatest strengths back at them, distorted and evil. He showed us that the end of the world does not come with a bang, but with a single raised hand and a cold, unfeeling gaze.